second, and so he'll be back. But
third person.
oh no, yeah. Rock says. But you know what I'm saying, like filling in quite capably. Hopefully, is my youngest son Alex, aka Twin. So and so we are in capable hands while they going to do what it is that they need to do. And so we kind of want to just go around real quick, and I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but Alex, if you didn't realize, there's a mic over right next to you, so I want to know, yes, how are you doing? I want to hear how you are doing. We're going to go around the room.
How am I doing?
Speaking to the mic.
I'm doing it, I think. But yeah, no, I'm doing all right. School's about to end June 5th. It's been quite a year. Had a lot of friends leave because some of them were seniors. They left like on the 31st, I think it was. Had a little wave off, bunch of bubbles. It was great. A lot of people were crying. I wasn't because I'm not like them. I'm not them. I'm him. But yeah, it's basically.
I love it.
Just recently how I've been doing. That's it for me.
Okay. You know, it's funny because like he sounds like me.
He really,
Like,
he really does.
Yo, Kay, how you doing, bro?
I'm cool, man. You know, working per usual. Had some. I had like a list. I got like a to-do list with my car right now. My car is becoming a project. You know, which isn't fun, but you know, we made some headway in some of those things. So a couple of the more important things got fixed. You know, just bills, adulthood, things of that nature. I don't know.
Yeah.
Work, sleep, repeat, adulthood. You know, enjoy being in love and keep life going.
Man, Siobhan.
Oh, my turn. Ain't much going on. It's a new month. My daughter's birthday is actually this month, so I've begun. Yeah, she's what kid? Not that that matters. But I've decided to throw her a party last minute, so I'm going through that. She decided on an odd theme. She wants a Matilda themed birthday party. Yeah, I like her mind. Like, I'm excited that she like that part is easy. So I'm trying to tap into some creative juices to make everything that she wants happen. So we'll see how that goes.
Trying to make sure that our live stream is right. Anyway, yeah, the Matilda theme is different. It's pretty dope, like to make something like that happen. So.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're jumping around a little bit on that stream. Hopefully, we'll be able to get right on our channel. But
Yeah, it's not up. It's not up.
it's what's on here. Oh well.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Okay.
So you have to give not only how you're doing, but
Right.
like vacation recap.
True, because you haven't been here.
Yo.
Not
2
only
episodes.
vacation recap, but also you returned and had service as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
you got
Oh yeah.
take the floor. And you're gonna talk about you.
I forgot all about that.
Don't do it.
I did.
So it was like the service. I'll start with the service when I got back. Now they changed my shift at work, so no longer I'm first shift for now. I'm back on second shift, so I had to actually burn a sick day to be able to make that service. I committed to it, so it kind of is what it is. I think like that sucked, but being there was cool. It actually gave me telling your testimony, and you know what I'm saying, like is not always easy. I think it was like a little easy. It's always easy for me to be able to talk to people, especially like one-on-one, but like at a service, it's different because I know the people know some of the people that, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just trying to say where God brought me from. So it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's like because these people are part of the story, you kind of know. Because I sort of started talking about how God used heartbreak to show me the importance of being able to commit to Him. And so I wasn't able to get like super deep into it, Pauls, but it was, it was good. It was good in that the message was received. So it's like, whatever. And I'm gonna do some. So I actually had a show idea. I was talking with Princess show, homie Megan, and Siobhan. It's crazy because it was at different times. Chris actually sparked the idea for another show. So gonna start looking to work on that. Vacation was amazing. So let me just get that out of the way. It was amazing. It wasn't like one of those when it flies right by. Like it didn't fly. I do wish that I was there still. That was because I don't like going to work. But it was so I'd never been to all of the Disney parks. And I got a chance to go. Magic Kingdom, it's kinda trash. I'm not gonna hold it.
It's
Like,
not
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's only like once you see the castle and you see like Walt Disney, like the Walt Disney would be that, like that's all there is. Like, I mean, like, for an adult. Now there was a Tron, like this Tron roller coaster ride I didn't get a chance to go on. I had worked up the nerve to do it, and then like I wasn't able to get on at the last minute. Same thing for the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is supposed to be amazing. I didn't get a chance to get on that because they were having issues with the ride, and that's fine. I'm not gonna be a part of the group that gets back on after it's malfunctioning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. So next go around for that. But I rode a lot of just about everything. Not like the ridiculous roller coasters. Like there was some I really like. I didn't get on the Incredible Hulk. There's like this rocket thing in Universal Studios. It wasn't gonna happen. But also Universal Studios was running a special. So you buy two tickets to for whatever, for 2 parks. Like, then you can have the option for the next 3 days to go to the singular park of your choice. Like, you just gotta.
Okay.
So it was like I did 2 days a piece at Universal parks. I didn't go to the water park because there was no point. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it rained. Like, I had poncho. Like, Florida's like torrential rain. Like, so just here and there, it'll just happen. It's pouring. So like I didn't have any. There's no purpose for me to go to a water park. But like the trip was fire. I have so many pictures and stuff. I really don't even know how to post it. I just like put a bunch of that crap in my story. Maybe like put together a couple reels. But because the trip was dope. It's just like it was a lot because I was doing something like every day. So there wasn't really a lot of time to sleep in. But there was, you know what I mean? Like, but there was a lot happening. The Airbnb I stayed at was at a resort. It was Star Wars themed, and when I say Star Wars themed, I don't mean just a blanket. There was so much stuff in that house. I created like 3 90-second reels, and I was not able to get all of the stuff that was in that house. And like it was freaking crazy. There was a pool there. There was just collectibles, all kinds of crap. Like I went to church, made some new church associates. Shout out to all the people in Winter Haven, Florida.
It's like such a oxymoron. I think of Florida in the winter.
Yeah, I never even heard of it. It's like the second Airbnb that I stayed at. It was like, I was also Star Wars themed. It was a little different though. It was like, if I had money when I was 15. Like you seen that movie Big when he had like all those toys in his house, like like it was like that. It was like living inside of like Star Wars displays.
Oh wow.
So it was it was crazy. Yeah, I got fishing in, and I mean the trip was, like I said, the trip was straight. I needed like collect up some more days to take off like that, because I actually started my birthday by taking the actual day off. I don't know that I've done that in previous years. I usually would work on my birthday and just wait till the weekend, something like that. But so like I took off the day, saw Michael Winslow from Police Academy, the sound effects dude, the black guy. So that was like that was dope. Apparently there's something wrong with the stream on our channel, but we gotta keep moving because agent out here, I don't want to put Alex in that situation. But yeah, so the trip was fire. I got back. I pretty much had to start second shift like the next day. I got back like late Tuesday night. Started, you know what I mean, like start on second shift, and I won't say. I mean, it's work. So it's like, yeah, back to life, back to reality.
Yeah.
Kind of is what it is. Until reality is something different.
Right.
Praise God. So, but yeah, like so, it was a good trip. I definitely miss broadcasting though. Like there's one thing that you know what I mean, like because of when it's something that you want to do, like you know what I mean, like taking time off is cool, but it's like it's like I still want to be here. I actually had to on purpose. I only took my laptop out, I think, like one day.
That's good.
So so I got, because I had to post stuff I had already done, but I hadn't uploaded for whatever reason. I actually didn't pack until probably like the day of. And I got everything I needed, but it was good. Like you know what I mean, like that was a good experience. It's my opinion that bringing if your kids aren't a certain age, you don't like bringing them to Disney is kind of a waste of money, because you know what I'm saying, like the food is super expensive, everything that you do, and then like for stuff that you don't really remember. When my parents brought me, I was like 10, and I vaguely remember, so it makes more sense to me to go when you're grown. So you know what I mean, like them, you know what I'm saying, like my older ones, I would like to bring them now, because it would, because I know like I have an idea what the park is like or what we're gonna do, what we can, you know what I'm saying, like, and then like trying to, it's like, because I'm telling you, like you get hungry. Disney seasons their food with water to perfection. Like it smells, it smells wonderful, but it tastes like nothing.
Wow.
Like so. I was in Disneyland last year when I went to the Star Wars celebration, and I was hungry, so like I went while I was there, and they had chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans. I'm like, the green beans, they were just boiled, and all they did was effectively boil the nutrients out of it. The mashed potatoes is like the scratch mashed potatoes with no salt, and then like, the chicken, it tasted like nothing though, and I was so.
You should definitely do.
Yeah.
That's standard, like getting to the park, get out the park.
and even that's gonna
I know it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, but that's
you can count on it.
That's gonna run you about $35.
Oh no,
without the drink.
It's not to dodge the price. I'm just saying, like, you can count on it. Like, that's all.
Man, it was. But when I do get ices, ice cream, and churros. You know what I'm saying? Like in the park, maybe, you know what I'm saying, they got Auntie Anne's pretzels. That might work too.
I'm big on fried dough.
Fried dough, but they don't be, so they have what is it? The fried, it's not fried dough.
Funnel cakes?
Funnel cakes, yeah. I don't,
What's that?
It's different.
Similar, yeah.
Close, but not.
Yeah, it's like
Nah.
you know how
It's
like the
not
Camaro is like a poor man's Corvette? So, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
not it.
yeah.
It's not
So it is.
But most of the parks have funnel
Yeah.
cakes versus fried
Yeah,
dough.
it is GoBots
They'll
in
keep
comparison
having
to
it if
Transformers.
It's up to me.
Like, yeah, I love fried dough. It's just hard to find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, I mean, the trip was fire. I'm glad to be able to have gone and come back, and so today we are going to be, our conversation is going to be about the coping with the boredom of non-dysfunction. I dare y'all to look that up, that word dysfunction.
Don't.
Non-dysfunction.
Don't.
Google it, see what happens.
Oh man.
But we were really having an interesting conversation about it, leading up to now. It really pains me that this stream is not working the way that it should. So as long as you guys can see us, I guess we can skip a week on our channel because everything is not. We decided to come in and mess with the internet. So we're so yeah, the like coping with the boredom of non-dysfunction, and by that, like saying how sometimes because dysfunction is the norm for some people, they are used to it, and it's like you don't want it. Like the feeling sucks, all the anxiety that comes with it, all of the all of the sadness, everything that comes with it is like terrible. It's like you get used to it, and then sort of so when that's not where you live anymore, you know what I mean? Like it's still it can be it's hard to get used to, number one, and then like dealing with like being bored, like life is less exciting, but it's not it's not that it was exciting when it was happening, but it's
Right.
like it's just
Not a pleasurable exciting. It's
Yeah.
just-
But I mean, even that whole description is case by case. Because I mean, like that may be your experience. Coming from a peaceful place as far as how you were brought up. You know what I mean? Like you had a peaceful upbringing. So then like these things being introduced to you, although it may be a process to get used to it. Like for some people, they grew up in those things, so by the time they're cultivating their own relationships, friends, setting up their own households, they only know one way to go.
Yeah.
And if it's like that, then they're not gonna be the same. As far as how you were when you said you had to grow used to it.
yeah. I mean, so like okay. Now I didn't grow up in dysfunction. That like very much during my adult life I got used to dysfunction, and so it was like it's weird like now because I don't have to be in that anymore. But like you get used to living in a like survival mode, or like so it's like getting used to people doing things with any agenda, not what I mean, like just showing niceness, because I what I mean, like my immediate thoughts a lot of times is like, yo, all right, so like what do I owe you? Like what what I'm saying, like what do I have to do? Like what I'm saying, like what is this is gonna come back up again, right? Like what I mean, and but everybody's not like that. I would what I'm saying, I would like to say that most people are not like that, but I'll say at least it's a 50-50 split. What I'm saying, like there's enough people who do things out of the goodness of their heart to not have to sort of for me to feel like I have to keep my head on a swivel all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the example I was gonna give you is a small example where what I mean, like we had a dinner for my birthday. Now, this is my chance to trash Wooden Tap, but I'm not gonna do that. So we went to TGI Fridays, and that was my favorite restaurant in my 20s. And so like
There was so much.
I know, actually. Okay.
It was, what I mean? Like, so we went to TGI Fridays, and we, and everybody, everybody was there, like, came through. There's like more, more people than I realized was gonna be there. And so, like we came through, I seen, like, I saw Casey at the end. What were you doing at the end of the table, yo? But I was, yeah, so I came in, like, I saw KJ. So, you know what I mean? Like, he slipped me a gift card, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, appreciative, but I was like, things from people. So it was, you know what I mean? Like in my mind, I was like, oh man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that was really nice, but it's definitely not something that, you know what I'm saying? Like that even on my birthday to get a gift, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yo, because before, like, I had to look down, I'm like, I have to stay a few steps ahead of this thing. Like, you know, it's like, why are they doing this? Because a lot of times it'd be people just doing things because they want for you to do
Ulterior motives?
yeah. They want, you know, and so, I mean, yo, I'm really used to that. But it really was, the people that I was around, it was really like that. And so, you know, like, I hadn't been used to it. There, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there was a Christmas, oh man, so, I was having a hard time. And I had enough to just be able to get my kids everything that they, you know, that they wanted. But really, I was stupid broke. So, you know, like, I did that, and I was fine, because I was like, yo, they have what they need. You know what I'm saying? I got their mom a little something, and, you know, so everybody was taken care of. I wasn't expecting anything, nor did I need anything, because honestly, you know, like, seeing my kids get their stuff, that's enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's nice to get something, and just because somebody was thinking of you. And so, I was working at a school at the time, and one of the teachers in the class had went and got me, like, these, had got me the Star Wars coffee mug, like, but it was like it was like a stormtrooper's helmet, and like, and then like this whole Darth Vader, like one piece pajama with like the hood and all that. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was fire. But when she, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize that she was doing that, and so when she gave it to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I almost broke out in tears. I actually did in private. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to leave the room real quick and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And come back, because, yo, I wasn't used to, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm asking, like, yo, why did you, I was like, I can't afford you to get you no gift. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you doing this? And she was like, yo, you know, she's like, yo, and it wasn't even just that, it was like that they thought of me, but also they thought enough to do something that I really like.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, because you could just give me some cake cups in the gift box, and that would be, you know what I'm saying, technically a gift. But it's like, yo, but they actually thought to do something, and I was like, yo, like, to that point, like, I really wasn't used to it, yo. In a tear, so now, you know, like, fast forward, where I really, like, that happens more oftentimes than not, and I don't, because I don't deal with the same people, and it's like, I really struggle sometimes to not think that way.
Yeah.
To not, you know what I'm saying? Like, and to, you know, and I mean, maybe it's, in a way, like, to turn from self-sabotaging behavior to be like, you know, I'm bored, and now I have to deal with this, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's always something going on. And like now, like there's nothing going on. There's like anybody that's mad at me at this stage in life is like for old stuff. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you can continue to be your cape, and you can be super mad. Like, you know, but it's like
it reminds me of like say like firefighters. You know what I mean? So it's like there's no fires to put out, so you're just at the house.
Right.
And it's like you're just waiting for a fire to put out. But you're like, do I even have a job if I'm not putting out a fire? That's how it seems.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
yeah.
like that, like what you're describing sounds like that to me. Like, it's like you're just like, yo, there's always something to do.
Right.
Like if I'm not putting out a fire,
Right.
Yeah.
am I really alive? Like, am I doing my job?
Yeah.
Like, there's always a problem to solve type thing. You know what I mean?
It's like, what do the Ghostbusters do when there's no ghosts?
Right.
Like,
Right, exactly. Like, are you really a superhero if you're not saving someone?
Right.
Yeah. Yo, absolutely. And that's good.
No, I was gonna say, like, as you were saying that, I was just thinking about when COVID happened. Like, I mean, you know, you had to adjust, you had to pivot when that happened, and then for me, especially working in the jail, we were super just like, what do we do? We
Mhm.
are, I hate using the term glorified babysitters, but technically we are, and we had to make sure that these people were safe and try to make sure that they're not getting this thing,
Right.
but we gotta worry about ourselves too.
Same
Like, it was
time.
just so much going on, and like rules, man, like there were so many things that were changing almost daily. Man, like it did something to me at least. Where like for 2 years, it's like once we finally tapered down from all the activity, I was kind of like, oh, what are we doing? Like, what's next? Like, like there was so many times that you just had to shift and change what you were doing, or what you had to, even like protocol in terms of what we had to wear, gloves and all the PPE stuff and masks and all that. So like even like just recently they ended all that stuff, but it's still kind of like, there's nothing to do. Like,
Yeah.
when are we gonna have to like do this extra
special
stuff that
pilot,
we've been doing
right.
for these the last few years? So like, I don't want nothing. like I'm finally like getting into that mentality where it's just like I don't have to take that stress of work home and all that. So, but yeah.
So it seems like on a workload, like you've coped with it. Like you're okay.
With that portion of it, I mean, there's other stuff going on now. These people is crazy. And I work with people off of drama function, and I'm not there.
So
Like,
you have to wonder, like, if you use that example, you have to wonder how many people, what's going on.
exactly.
And like, like this is like their center.
Right.
So like this is their center of entertainment, be it positive and or negative.
Exactly.
So like, like, I hate to say it, but like somebody could get like a certification or an award or some employee of the month type thing. And then it's like you got the cliques, you know what I mean? Like you got the supportive cliques, and then you got the cliques that are always gonna poke holes in it. Be like, yo, I don't even know why they're the one that got it, or that, you know what I mean? And then like I don't know, there's some people that just gravitate to the drama,
Yeah.
or like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's tough,
Yeah.
but that's life.
I mean, I guess I just like, you can do whatever you're about to do. Just leave me out of it. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel. Like I don't need to be a part of that. And if you feel good about causing, alarming their bodies and shocking them just by the things that you say or the situations you intentionally try to put them in, go ahead and do that. But just leave me over here reading my Bible, trying to like stay out of trouble and temper my words. Like I just don't want to be involved in like work drama. Like I'm not old, but like I've been working for quite some time, so I know. Like I was a manager at Lowe's in my 20s. I used to have to like be the in between like 65-year-old retirees and college kids on vacation that are all working there, and like they're all that going head to head about what time their breaks are and stuff like that. Like
Those are drastic different responsibilities.
that's what I'm saying. So like I've had to deal with those types of things, and just workplace drama is going to happen. But I'm just like, I'm past a lot of things at this point, and like I see it coming a mile away at this point as well. So I just be trying to like put people in their places, like, this is what's gonna happen, this is what's not gonna happen, all right? So if you are gonna choose to go this way and you're gonna stir the pot, go ahead. I'm gonna be over here. So it's hard. It's really hard. There's not a lot of people that have that mentality. Again, after COVID, I realized how much I don't care about making my job the center of my world. You know what I mean? Like I used to want to like position myself for promotions and stuff like that. I mean, I still do my job well, but the above and beyond to a point of like my detriment, not a thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm more focused on like, all right, you work, you earn money, you support your family, do what you got to do, and let's exit and live your real life, because work is not my real life. It's really not. Like what I do is not my life. It is my job. So
I can't even, we can't even, I don't even wanna have that conversation until TW is here. Cause
Oh.
I'm about to say, like, I know that he wants to be we actually spent on maybe like two shifts this past week talking about that same subject. So
Would you guys consider going above and beyond a form of dysfunction?
Not necessarily, like me personally, not necessarily because, I mean, some people are just wired to operate in that space. And not trying to be a perfectionist, but just trying to, just, you know, do what you're tasked to do well. And I feel like that is but like for me, I'm just like, yo, I know what the book, what's that handbook says? I do that. I do what the handbook says. What you gave me during orientation,
Yeah.
I do exactly that.
that's it.
There we go. Cause you said you was gonna pay me to do that, so I'm gonna do that. And that's it.
So let me ask you a question. So to answer your question, I think that I don't think that there's anything with being excellent, like doing things, like wanting to do things with excellence, and that's pretty much like when you want to go above and above and beyond. It can maybe come from a place of that not being the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, if maybe somebody who is used to things being in like disarray, like they get really anal about things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who maybe, you know, it's like grew up in certain conditions. It's like now they're like a super neat freak. They want all their stuff to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they don't, like they want to make sure that things go as they should in these situations because I don't want to end up back,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
back here. Like I ain't gonna hold you. I really, and I'm not saying that this is dysfunctional or not, but I know it's definitely it was maybe like a reaction to trauma. My house burned down.
Yeah,
Like
right.
I lost we lost all of our things, and you know, like that was in 2013. From that point on, like I've carried a backpack everywhere that I go.
No,
Even when I don't need it, like I would put, I would have random things, especially like, you know, I've gotten better, but I would keep like random things in there, like, you know what I mean, like things that I didn't want to lose because, and the reason I had it, even when I was riding around in my car, I had my backpack in my trunk, even with stuff that belonged in the trunk, because it was like
I'm just like
never wanted to be in a position where I didn't have anything, and so like I carried, I mean, even to my bag right over there. But, you know what I'm saying? It just so happens that it's necessary for me to have it. You know what I'm saying? Here, but like I bring it. I said I call myself. I still be bringing it to work when I know I can't even have no devices. I can't have my phone inside my job. I keep my laptop and my and like my iPad and stuff in my backpack, and I can't even have that stuff at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
but I still, you know what I mean? Like I just do. It's not.
Kind of security blanket though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I mean, we all are products of the trauma.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess to like get us like a little bit more back on the topic.
Yeah.
Like when you do think of the trauma, like after you come out of certain traumatic situations and or experience chaos and or dysfunction, like we're kind of using those words interchangeably.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a situation that doesn't have those things, how do you deal with the fact that there's a void there where you're used to chaos existing, where you're used to dysfunction existing, or you're used to trauma existing?
I feel like that's where like therapy and stuff comes in. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like this type of stuff I would say to my therapist because it's like I know that these feelings shouldn't be here. I can't, bro. It's even when you know it though. It's like it's hard to not respond. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're in it for that long, it's hard to like just wake up one morning and everything be straight, and you are able to act accordingly all the time. Like I said, like I'm just looking, looking over my shoulder. It's hard to be able to trust people. Like I said, like to trust that somebody is doing something out of the goodness of their heart and not because they have an ulterior motive is, you know what I mean? Like that's not everybody, yo. everybody does not have an ulterior motive. Everybody does not have, like they don't want to, like they don't have something that they're trying to do to you, or to, or they're not trying to set you up, or you're trying, you know what I mean, like, but it's tough to be able to like to be able to trust after that situation. So I think that anybody that when you go through situations like that, like things that people would consider to be normal are not, because that's not normal to you. And my dad will always say, like, like those elephants that they have in the circus, it'd be like they chain them up, like they put it, like, connect a chain to their foot, and they would just have like a certain area that they were able to walk around, and after a while, like they took, like they could take it off, but in their mind, like they didn't know that they were free. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what I mean? Like, so it's like you have to begin to, you know what I mean? Like, sort of like tell yourself, like, yo, like this is not what it is. It's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, like somebody's doing this just because they want to. Everything is like, there's no drama. Nobody's calling your phone with, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not getting like crazy text messages and all of that stuff. This, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that just speaks to the point, like, we have, in those situations, we have to learn to be able to invite peace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Situations are peaceful, but you also have to invite it, into your mind, into your heart, into your daily, your everyday.
Yeah.
Because when you don't, I'm saying, like, that's one of the situations where you can go into those like self-sabotaging behaviors. It's like, oh, now I can't be in a relationship because, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, because I can't trust you enough to think that you're not doing something, or that you're not waiting to do something to me, or like, like you could genuinely love me because, because I'm who I am, or, you know what I mean, like, or for whatever reason. It's like it really affects that stuff, and it definitely does. It definitely does for me. You know what I'm saying, like I still have, like I said, an issue being like, I know.
I've never gone, and I'm not against it at all.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just like wondering, like, more of the root of the question, as far as like, how do you get to the decision? Because even when I think back for myself, I don't remember how I arrived at the desire for peace.
Oh. So, I mean, I speaking for myself, after, like, okay, for just like speaking for like from a relationship standpoint, after leaving the dysfunctional relationship, you kind of have time to analyze. Oh, well, okay. If you don't jump into another relationship afterwards, you have the opportunity to kind of like analyze like what that previous relationship was. And for me, I was like, oh, I didn't like that. I didn't like how I felt. The cons outweighed the pros of what came out of that relationship. And so I, like, okay, if and when I do this again, these are the things I can't do, I can't handle, or I won't accept. So I know that, like, at least for like my serious adult relationships, after that first dysfunctional one, when I went into another one, even like selecting that person, it was like a 180, because personalities were totally different in terms of like calmness and conflict resolution and things like that. So I'm just like, oh, this is different, and it felt very different. But I felt that calm that I knew that I needed, or I knew that relationships could be. And so, it probably cost me to stay a lot longer than I should have. But but it was, it was a calm, the calmness that I know I needed in a relationship. So it, just being able to reflect is, after the relationship. Do not jump into another relationship immediately following, because you don't allow yourself that time. Because we were talking about like how you did the cliche term of like time heals all wounds. It's not necessarily time. It's like, what are you doing during that time? And so for me, I know that after every relationship that I've had, I've allowed myself to kind of like breathe and then like, not even intentionally self-reflect, but like just give myself the opportunity to be like, oh, that was trash. And we're not gonna, just kind of pinpointing the things that, the reasons why I stayed or why I went into it and to begin with, and then like the reasons I left or, why things just weren't working out, so.
What we were kind of talking about the other day with, at the church.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can go live stream that if you want to. And Deliverance Center Church, God of Christ on Facebook. Well, but it was, like the difference between having gone through something, getting through it, and then actually being delivered from that thing.
Right.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, like, because we think that because we made it through, it's like, oh, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's like, but you still have to like do the work to be able to get, to get what you need to get out of that situation and to be over it. It's like, yeah, like I got through this thing. Maybe I get in a car accident and I didn't die, but now like it's like I still need to heal if I have injuries.
Right.
I still, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like, it's like, but we're like, oh yeah, God delivered me, God delivered me. It's like, nah, fam, you're not delivered. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to seek that. You know what I mean? Like, and so like coming out of those situations, because like, all right, well now I come out of a crazy situation, and you know what I'm saying? Like, because like I lived through it, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I have a certain wisdom about that subject, but now like I'm dealing with people, but I'm dealing with them like I'm in the last situation that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like, because you don't want to treat people like that. That's not a completely different person, completely different set of values. Like they do things that, you know what I mean? Like, and so you want to be able to, and like that's what I'm saying. Like the difference between like getting through something and being delivered from it is you know what I mean, is a key reason why like I sought therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because like I know, like I've been through this stuff, and now that I've been through these things, you know what I'm saying? Like I know that I need some work, but I don't necessarily know the work that I need to do, or I may not know, and I need somebody to show me the tools to be able to get over this stuff. Because in your mind, like like I want to get over it. I want to get over it. I do. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think everybody who has toxic behaviors will wake up and they want to be like that. If they didn't have to, if they had the choice, a lot of times you wouldn't. But it's like you can't stop your brain from working the way that it works. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Not knowing how. Like not having to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe it takes for me to be like, to look in the mirror and, you know what I'm saying? Like, and say how I'm feeling out loud to be able to redirect myself when I'm, you know what I'm saying? Or being like like now I'm in another relationship and then I get into an argument and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now, I'm thinking like, yo, it's over. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, or like, you know what I'm saying? We finna break up right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like
That's the issue
like,
I have.
like that's not
I've
what,
had
right.
in the past.
That's not what that means.
Right.
It's like,
Because the thing is like, okay, once you get supposedly like you're like onto greener pastures for lack of better words, like you know what I mean? Like what you're thinking is like, oh okay, well the arguments were bad and that was a byproduct of a bad relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're thinking is like, okay, so if you have a good relationship, there's no arguments. And that's so unrealistic.
Right.
And I had like I struggled.
Yes.
I struggled in my past. You know what I mean? Like, even like, me and my lady's past, like, prior to our actual relationship, just like, not allowing normal emotions to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, I hate to say it, but even the fact that we were friends,
Yeah.
like, it just made me not treat her like a girl at times. Like, I didn't allow emotions to exist. Like, I'd be like, why? Like, why you mad? Like,
Alex, go to the door and the front door and let AJ in.
And then but then like I mean like after a while you just like you learn that like okay, it's not necessarily that arguments don't exist, but they don't exist, like they're not as frequent,
Yes.
and that sometimes the conflict is okay.
Right.
Because, like, there are some differences we're going to have to iron out. Like, it doesn't mean it's a bad shirt just because there's some wrinkles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to iron these things out and
Right.
be cool. And, I mean, like, once you learn those things, I think it's very important. I mean, like, thinking back, I think mine came from fear.
I
When you
can
talk
see
about
that.
like the desire for peace,
Yeah.
like I had like and it's terrible to admit, but I don't mind. Like you know what I mean? Like I talked to you about being an overthinker or whatever the case may be, and at one of the darkest points in a prior relationship, the only time I really found peace was like if I was either at work or if I was asleep.
Oh, so the peace in the relationship was when the other person wasn't there.
So what made me like very scared at that time? I just was like, yo, what if one day I go to sleep and I don't wake up? Like because like I like find this like if my body just responds and they're like, this is the only place that's peaceful,
Right.
and I never get back up. Like I was so nervous
That's weird.
that like that's when I made the commitment to peace, and I just had to chalk it up. Like you know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong, like, I was definitely complicit
Yeah.
in creating the conditions that were chaotic. You know what I mean? Even if I were to say I was the sole reason, it's cool. I created a condition that a person had a tough time dealing with. You know what I mean? And then after that, but I was like, yo, I know I can't do this. Like so once I made that decision for peace, like for me, I didn't have to take the time. I hate to say it, but you know what I mean? Like I feel like I already knew what I needed as far as peace goes. And like that's something I desire going forward for all of my friends.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? All of my people. And I don't know, like it's funny because it looks so different for everybody.
Yeah.
For someone it's like, yo, I need some time to myself. For some people it's like, yo, like that person brings me peace. For some people they're gonna like rectify a troubled situation and they're gonna find peace there. Like so you could never tell someone. I'm just like, yo, whatever peace looks like for you,
Yeah.
I want that for you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
some people like they really can't do without a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's not even a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
just that
I think
the reason to me I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that it's a bad thing if you can't do without them and you guys aren't both willing to make the necessary changes to be the best versions of yourself while being together.
Yeah, but how do you know what the best version of yourself is if you don't know who you are? I think. And,
I mean,
you know,
but that's saying that somebody doesn't know. Like some people do know.
No, but how do you know if you're not alone? One of the things that the ladies were saying last week, when they were, talking about like motherhood and stuff, is like, Tasha was saying like, yo, she's somebody, like when she's not being a mom, she's somebody's wife, or she's not, you have to spend that time alone to kind of figure out who you are. And I could identify with what she was saying because, for a lot of, when I was young, I got married, like, I really didn't know who I was. I believe that I did because I've always been a deep thinker. I've always been, like, an over-analyzer. And so, like, I analyze the situations, like, how could you not know who you are? But looking back, into 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, it's like, no, I really didn't know. And, you know what I mean? And it's because I didn't take the opportunity to be, to be by myself. And this
I think that's the difference. Because like I think back to like when we were kids, for lack of better words, and like I was super cool with not being nobody's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like think back to like the college days, like you know what I mean? Like it's like I'll pop out, hang out, like yo, we having a good time. Like I was social with everybody, and it was like I'll go back to living my life. Like I think I was like really becoming used to being me then.
Yeah.
So, like, when you had that time when you had to, like, take care of a unit, like, it's like, I feel like I did so much of that. That, like, now, when I think of the best version of me, it's like, part of the best version of me is, like, taking care of mine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm not like, oh, man, like, I gotta find some K time. It's like, nah, I'm cool. Like, I know how to manage it all.
Okay.
Like,
I see what you're getting.
but it's just for me. Like I said, everybody's different.
I mean, because I was gonna say like, but what if what if because you know what I mean? Like I shoot for the stars, though. So it's like, what if like the best version of me is something that I never would have thought that I would be. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all have our own intentions and like our dreams of what we want to do. But I'm saying like, and now it comes with what you call like the faith-based thought, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, if God is telling you that, he wants to do exceeding abundantly above all that you can ask or think. It's like, yo, maybe the best version of myself is somebody that I never could have saw myself being. And like, but I never, that I wanted to be when I was 20, changed when I was, by the time I was 30. And then by the time I was 30, the person that I wish that I could be, I never thought that I would be able to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that it was like a myth. And so even like my parents, like my father, like I said, for all the integrity that he has and all that, like I never thought that that I would be able to be that person. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, Bill, but I was wrong. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, because now at 42, and I'm not saying that I'm, where he is necessarily, but my life is trending in that direction to where I didn't see a path to be a person that, that I may have wanted to be, where I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? And sort of, like, now it's like, well, now that, like, this thing is like the norm. So now, like, where do we go from here? I know that there's more, because we're still here. Like, I haven't completely fulfilled my purpose, right? So it's like, all right, well, now, now, so I'm not like, so now in finding out who I am, I'm more so asking the question, like, God, who do you want me to be? And you know what I'm saying? Like in because I know, like, if my ways are ways, and my thoughts aren't, that there's, that there's things inside that you know what I mean? Like, that I may not have been able to have seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I mean, and I'm not, and I'm not even not like with the churchy type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I mean, yo, you got people who is like, like drug dealers that are, you know what I'm saying, like rubbing elbows with billionaires, or who are billionaires like today. And then, you know what I'm saying, like, couldn't have seen that when they were, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you just trying to look for a way to get your family out of a certain situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I mean, LeBron, of course, like we say, oh, he had his business plan. Like, yeah, I'm sure he had a place that he thought, but it's like he's had to have exceeded where he thought that he was going to be. And so, you know what I mean? Like, and so I mean, like, yo, like, not putting that in my own hands. I'm saying, like, in being in that, in that earlier relationship, like, I'm like, man, I really didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know myself to be anything except for what I was. And I thought that I was always going to be that. And so I was not going to be able to be like in a stable relationship. I'm not going to be able to be, and you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not talking from the space of being this finished product right now. I really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be in situations now because of the person that I don't want to be to other people. And it's like, yo, if I could still feel that inside of me. I'm not saying that I have to be perfect, but I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, like, yo, when you're healed, it feels different. Yeah. Like, you think differently. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and, and not that those feelings may not rise up, but you have something to combat that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's times when I can't keep myself from going into dark spaces, and I know that, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like, yo, I'm better, and I'm telling you, like, so I'm becoming who I did not think that it was possible to be. We're talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm just saying that, like, like, so now I'm like, I know that I want peace because I never thought it was possible. And now that I know that it's possible, yeah, I want it. And I know that if I come to a situation with that mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the other person is coming with that same, then it's like, yeah, well, this probably can really work, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, because now, you know what I mean? Like, we talking about arguing and thinking it's gonna be the end of the relationship. Well, now that brings me back to where the Bible says to anger but sin not. How do you do that? How do you be, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you be angry and not sin? Like, because you know what I mean? Like, Nick, I was used to, like, yo, we're throwing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're breaking stuff in the body. I broke an air conditioner unit one time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, just, did I try to hit somebody? And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, just slamming doors. I'm getting barricaded out my house. You know what I mean? Like, crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but that's, like, yo, this is what it is. Cause I didn't believe that it was nothing different, but I was wrong. And I'm saying, like, now, because, like, just knowing who I am and what, like, and what I'm aspiring to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that, like, that there can be a peace that I didn't think before existed. And part, you know, and so part of, you know, like part of that, you know, like I said, like that growing up now is, you know what I mean, like, yo, I don't, you know what I mean, I'm protecting, like, I'm protecting my peace. So like, yo, at the first sign, a lot of times I'll be like, yo, I'm out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, I'm not. Oh, you trying to argue? Like, you know what I'm saying? With anybody, it could be a friend. Like, yo, we can't have a spirited debate about basketball. If, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and it'd be like, yo, I gotta come back at the end and be like, hey dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we still good. They're like, yeah, of course we're still good, yo. Like, I'm like, yo, but I'm just saying because, yo, when I'm like, you know, because I don't want to, like, you know, like not speak again because you think that the Celtics are trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you know, it bleeds into, you know, into all of that. But I mean, but honestly, I'm still getting used to it. But the difference is, like, I'm approaching it now, like, I know that it's possible.
I think that's where, like, I guess, like, praying or, like, trying to grow the ability for discernment is important. Because, like, when I was saying the thing about, like, you know, wanting someone or needing someone or whatever the case may be, like, it's like, you'd have to know what bonds are meant to grow through your process.
Yeah.
You know, no pun. but you know what I mean, but like the process that you go through, like there are some people, like, I mean, we've seen it, like there's people that are like 80 years old, 70-year-old couples or friends or whatever, and they're like, yeah, like the 20s wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But they had to know something that it was worth going through a rough decade together as friends and or as partners to make it make sense. Whereas, like, sometimes that ain't the person. That's why I said I don't know what peace looks like for whomever's listening. Like, don't listen to me and think that I'm saying, hey, stay in your bad situation. Like, no, if your situation is the situation that, like, you know what I mean? Like, you may have to pray on it. You may have to, like, seek counsel. I hope you have, like, that's one thing. Like, select the right people to confide in.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, your confidants are so important.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I pride myself on being able to talk to my friends, but I think one of the biggest compliments that I didn't expect to receive may have been when a friend of mine, his lady, she actually had access to his phone, you know, iCloud info, whatever the case may be. We're in a storm. She was like, "Nah, you can talk to him. Talk to him.
Yeah.
Talk to him like that's a smart friend.
That's a super compliment.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like that was probably, like, you know what I mean, one of the
in the middle of an argument, and she'd be like, "Yo, he's cool to talk to."
Like one of the best inadvertent
That's
conversations.
right there.
I trust that he's gonna speak sense to you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know, I'm not just completely taking the bro side, but I'm not completely kicking nobody's queen's back in either. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, but it's like I try to remain, like, even killed and logical in those times, because it's like, I know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you gonna love her tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, cats go a little too far and go off the deep and like, yo, she is crazy. Wait, you called my lady crazy?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just all I think it's all very important. Like, you know, when we're thinking about what the boredom looks like, because, like, what's bored to you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you were basically speaking to chaos, or like having like constant problems to solve.
Yeah.
Like, so when you spoke about the work scenario, Siobhan, you were talking about people more or less. Seems like they were like, I don't know, like finding things to discuss.
No, not even finding things to discuss. Like, almost creating situations so that there was conflict amongst, all the coworkers, basically. And maybe not even just amongst the coworkers, just like so that there was conflict in the midst. You know what I mean? And when it's someone who has authority who's doing it, that is what the air is like.
So the funny thing is, those people seem like they have this issue where they have a boredom with
with their life
dysfunction.
Yeah.
Like, if there's no dysfunction around them, they're bored. Like, so they can go to work
Right.
where everybody else is fine. They're like,
Yeah.
Like, let's throw this in.
Right, and seeing people who are.
But there's
you know-
mad people like that. Like
No, yes, absolutely.
instigators, there's people that just
Yes. Ooh,
thrive
that's a good
off
word,
of
too.
drama. Like
Mhm.
like I need to see drama in order to have a good day type of thing.
Right.
Like
And that's, I mean, that's professionally what I do with that word. Like, it's a constant, like, oh. And again, with me, I've just gotten to the point, especially after COVID, where I'm just like, your handbook, that's what I'm doing. And they see that, and it's like, I don't know if I like that she's not bothered,
gotcha.
you know? And they try to poke. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've had instances where I've reacted. But I've gotten better. Like, there was even a situation the other day. Oh, Lord.
Ooh.
I'm not. Thinking about it now. Where there was just a comment that it was borderline racist. And
Thought about the situation and immediately went into prayer.
no, seriously. Like, I paused and was just like, hold up. Like, what I wanted to say, I knew I couldn't say, or I shouldn't say, because I could, and I was about to. But just, like, based on growth, like, where I'm at, where I've been trying to get to, and because there's been a constant stream of those types of issues in that workspace, like, you know, I just knew I couldn't say what I wanted to say. And I've been praying about whether or not I should address it, but, you know, we chilling on this right now. But, so basically, yeah, so somebody, like, let me preface it with the fact that I am the only Black woman in my,
Okay.
yeah. That does not help when people have a what's the word?
Preconceived notion.
Yes, of how
stereotype.
those people within a certain category are to behave, or how they're pictured when you're not when they're not in your life consistently. If you don't have Black women in your life consistently, you don't realize that they're monoliths, and, like, you know. So they assume.
So all confrontations,
Man.
you get faced with the stereotype before you can
Ooh, Lord.
just give an answer as Siobhan, you give an answer as the Black woman stereotype.
Yes, 100%. So that's been difficult, and, like, it just came to a head the other day where because I feel like to pacify things, I've just been like, oh, that's not what it is, and then it came out of someone's mouth. Literally.
Go ahead.
Continue after that.
Well, literally, like, you know, just that someone basically asked me to not have an attitude, and I was just answering a question, and I was just like,
Because that works every time, right?
okay,
So wait, just for context.
yes, please.
So when they said not to have an attitude, like what was your disposition at that point?
I was speaking how I speak.
Okay.
I was like, they asked me a question, and I was just like, well, and I, because I did my well in that way.
Right.
They just assumed that I was being combative.
I got you.
I'm just like, you asked me to, okay. And I just sat there and I was like, okay.
But just because you disagree with someone,
It wasn't a disagreement. Like literally asked me to tell them what happened because they weren't there in a particular situation. And I think and I'm not really an animated person.
no, not really.
And so for that,
Don't say
like,
anything that's gonna mess it up with HR.
no. But no, and I'm really not animated. Again, especially in the jail, like, I'm very, like, straightforward, and, like, we were in, like, you know, and for him to do that, I wasn't well. But again, I was like, oh, I'm being tested for sure. Let me sit down and be quiet. And I'm glad I was able to. My blood was still boiling. It's still, like, I realize now that it still bothers me. But it just speaks to the fact that that's something I've been working on, and I was able to just be quiet. But again, not all Black women have attitudes. Okay?
Very true.
I disagree. No, I'm kidding.
Your whole
man.
fan base is about to, like, where's the comments at? Let me find that.
But
Go
I had
ahead.
a question to you about You said something about I believe you said you about things you learned in heartbreak.
Mhm.
Okay, so due to you learning these things in heartbreak and now like finding this peace after therapy and like unfortunately like some of the peace is gonna be attributed to single as well, probably subconsciously.
As to being single,
I'm asking.
um, can some of the piece be attributed to that?
Yeah,
Um,
because the opposite will be all like in relation.
yeah, I, well, I don't know that I can attribute it to being single. See, the thing about, yo, when you're, even when you are, you can still invite chaos into your life.
100%.
So this is something like for me, I would not necessarily attribute it to that because I was that person. To, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing's happening. I gotta invite it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I, like real, like, and I'm, you know what I mean? I'm not even like trying to be funny. Like I would, like times I would talk to people that I don't like or I'm not interested in. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like you sleep with people that you really don't have.
Yes.
Like there's no reason for, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I have no interest. I have no interest. I have no, you know what I mean? Like I do not see a future in other, and it's only you know what I'm saying? Like it's just because, not even because I want to, that I want to do the act. I don't have anything to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn to not be like that.
Curing boredom type thing.
Yeah.
At that point.
Like it's,
No, and
because like, yo, if there's nothing, it's like, yo, there's nothing happening. I look, yo, most days now, I look at, I'll be looking at my phone. I very much, and I just got on TikTok, by the way, so you guys follow me on TikTok, but, like, yo, I'm like, yo, I'll be on
Fast forward, huh?
Yo, I'll be on, yo, word, like, I'll be on TikTok, like, I watch, like, hella cat videos. Real
Wait,
talk. You could see, like, yo, my likes and my saves, bro. Like, it is. I watch mad cat videos.
Listen,
like,
the Tony Baker voiceover is hilarious.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
I love cats. I like when people rescue them.
real cats.
That's fine.
I like when people, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so it's really, but I'm saying, like, as opposed to getting threatening text messages or, you know what I'm saying? Or like getting phone calls, voicemails that's like, oh, why you ain't doing this? Or why you not coming back? Or why
that.
and they say, oh, I'm gonna come to your house and burn it down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, like,
arson is a crime.
it is. There's a lot of things that are crimes. I'm not getting ready to put nobody out there on the radio. But yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like learning to not do those behaviors. When I was talking about how the Lord showed me through heartbreak the way that, the way to be in a relationship with Him was because I experienced heartbreak, and experiencing that because the way that it felt was so terrible. It was like, He really was like, yo, well, how do you think that I feel when you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to watch literally everything that you do, and then have you come back to me and tell me that you love me, and all of your actions prove otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so, and then like it, you know what I mean? And it continued. Like I couldn't. It was like, all right. Like I don't, like, okay, I get it. Like but it was like it was in my dreams. It was like in my alone time, like my thoughts. It was like he continued to show me stuff that I didn't want to see until I was just like, yo, no, you're actually right. Even though I'm going through this, like, it has to feel even worse. Because I'm, you know what I'm saying, like, because I'm doing this, like, I'm saying, like, I want to be in a relationship with God, but, well, who do you be in a relationship with that you only, you know what I'm saying, like, you only see them once a week because you only want to. You only talk to them sometimes because you just want to talk to them sometimes. But then you be like, I'm in love with you. That everything that you're saying is the opposite of what you're doing.
Right.
You know, so you sing songs like imagine if I had a girlfriend or something like that, and I'm singing songs all the time about how I love her, but I'm always sleeping with other women. and I'm always, you know what I'm saying, like I don't never want to spend time with her. She want, you know, like all she's asking is for me to come, not even to go to a restaurant, just to come through and to have dinner at her crib. I'm like, I don't have time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm out doing this other thing. And so he showed me through my heartbreak the way that I was breaking his heart, because I was asking him to heal my heart. He's like, well, in order for me to be able to do that, I need you to understand this is what you're doing to me. In order for you to not do that anymore, you have to understand that this, whether or not you want to acknowledge it, this is what's happening. But the difference is, I love you so much, I'm never going away. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm giving you grace because I want to be in this relationship, and I'll be here as, you know, like, as long as you want to, like, as long as you want to come back. But know that I don't want you to just come back to me. I don't want you to just go to the altar and get saved on a Sunday. Like, I want to carry on a relationship with you that will last throughout your life. I want to talk to you daily. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you get in a relationship, you talk to somebody, like you text them, you call, you know, like you call them, you FaceTime them, even if it's just for a couple minutes because you got some time. Like, yo, I want that with you. And I'm like, yo, I didn't even think to realize that was possible. It was like, no, but that's what I want. I don't want to go days without speaking. I don't want to go days without seeing you. I don't want to go days without intimacy. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so is because I never looked at it like that before, I was able to get like the deliverance that I wanted, because I was like, all right, well, now I'm not going to treat you like that no more. I'm going to be the guy that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, and there is a person that I want to be. I don't know that I can do that, but I want to make sure that, you know what I'm saying? Like that I can at least try to do the things that I'm talking about. And from doing that, I was able to really do it. And of course our stream on my channel would go out right now, but you know what I'm saying, we still on DBN, so you know what I mean, like, but you know, like, yeah, so it was like, so I mean, so that's that's what it was. And this is how I'm finding out, like, yo, the peace that, you know what I'm saying, you never would have thought existed, like it exists because like I know it exists because I'm experiencing it on a regular. But even when stuff is happening, it's like, yo, it's happening, but I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but things could be, and it's definitely not what I was dealing with before. So now it's, you know what I mean? Like, I thought my parents were the only people that could have this,
right.
you know, like this, but that's not true. It's just that they went into their relationship like a different way than I went into mine. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so, because of that, like, they're like, yes, they've been able to, but when they come to conflict, there's certain zones that they don't go into no matter what. I was not used to that. There's certain, you know what I mean? Like, and so it's, like I said, like that look, you know, like, just because him showing me that has like opened up my eyes to an entire different reality that I never thought was possible.
Yeah.
It's funny you brought it back around to your parents, because I was gonna say, like, when I was
Switch the camera.
when I initially asked you about
transition.
like finding peace and attributing it to being single, I was gonna ask after that, I was gonna ask if you
It's on
thought,
that camera now?
you were gonna like find difficulty in
It's on that camera now?
person,
No.
like, you know, incorporating a relationship,
Okay, cool.
and like almost like thinking that they wouldn't be able to accompany you on this journey for peace, or if you thought that they'd be counterproductive to said peace.
I don't think that person would be counterproductive to that piece. I don't believe that. I believe that, you know, now this time around though, I do have to say, like, I would rather be in a situation where I know that the Lord is leading me to do that. There's so many decisions that I made that I, you know what I'm saying, that I'm still recovering from. My life is still recovering from, because I made those decisions without, you know, it's like I haven't prayed about them, I didn't consult God, I didn't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at least, you know, like now I know that I'll be led to that person, and because we're thinking in the same direction, our mode of problem solving would be different. Our thoughts on,
Just like you
know what I'm
said
saying?
about your parents.
Yeah, it'll be, you know what I'm saying, like, because now we're not fundamentally mismatched. You know what I'm saying? And be like, so because of that, because we're not gonna think the same way on everything. We're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna like the same ice cream flavor. I'm not gonna like all the same foods. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we're going to think differently on, you know, on different situations. But because we're not fundamentally mismatched, like, I know that getting into that situation would be different. The difference is that it has to be God led. And the reason that that's important is because understanding what leadership is in a relationship, I know where I'm going now. You know what I'm saying? Like I know where I'm going. And so it's like now I can look at somebody and be like, yeah, like, you know, and give you comfort in following me because I know where the destination is. You know, I know where I'm trying to get to, but I also know that, you know what I mean? Like I'm the leader that you can see, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but the actual leader is not me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Like, it's really him. And if he's like, you know what I mean? And again, we go to the 23rd Psalm and it says, he leads us to all these places. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. And you know, so we're going through the valley of shadow of death, like, you know, but we're going through it with him. All of these times, he's holding our hands. He's not. It never said that he showed us the end from, you know what I'm saying, like that, or that he showed us always where we're going. Sometimes it's just the next footstep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, like, but I know that I'm dedicated to following that path, and so it's like as long as it's somebody that's, you know, that's feels the same way about that, bro. I can't even tell. I wouldn't even be faithful in a relationship because of that person. Has nothing to do with you finding out, has nothing to do with my embarrassment to other people that I know that will find out. You know, the reason that I know that I could do it, you know what I'm saying, like be faithful in relationship is because I care more about the fact that God sees everything that I'm doing. And I would not want to let, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
You told us that before when you was describing your dad.
Yeah, and I never thought that I could get through though. That's and this and this so this is what I'm saying. Like, yo, like now, like I really because I know that, but it comes through like these constant conversations. Pray, you know, like praying, meditating on the word, spend time. Sometimes, like, bro, I don't even be. It's not even just a prayer. It just be like sometimes I just turn my TV off and put my worship music on, read the Bible. And he said, you know, he's still speaking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so like in the way of our relationship, like there's different things. Just like I would be like sitting around with my girl watching TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I know. So it's like, yo, I care more about not disappointing him than somebody else. And I feel like as long as that's my focus, I don't have to worry about that. I don't want to be in those situations no more. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's not even. I can tell you, like, I'm not having just gone through something. I can tell you that I'm delivered because there's certain situations that I don't even want to be in. I don't have a desire to be. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course, yes. Because you know what I mean, like we desire, like you want to have sex with people, like you want to do that stuff. You know what I mean, like, yo, I'm not here saying nothing like something crazy, like, yo, oh no, you know, the Lord deliver me from sex, like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, hold on, are we even going to the Logic Beats collector stream? But anyway, it's not, yo, it's not even that. I don't to let God down. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to, like I want to be the person that I am to him. And this is why my, you know what I'm saying, it's boosted my integrity, it's boosted all that, you know what I'm saying, my character, is because I'm like, yo, we could go home today and you'll never see what I do. I could tell y'all that I'm living whatever and not really be doing that. But caring about the fact that he sees everything and knowing that and then being in that relationship, so I know when he's disappointed, like I just, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like I don't want him to have that feeling. Shout out to AJ's phone. Like, but yeah, I don't want him to have that feeling. So it's, you know, like that's why it's, you know, it's very different. A very big turnaround from where I was in, you know, past mindset. That's what I'm saying. Like now, if to be able to arrive at that, it's like there's gotta be, you know, like, cause I know it's not just me. There's gotta be somebody out there that's, you know what I'm saying, like who he is. You know what I mean? Like, you know, imagine like being in a point where God is like, yo, he's so secure in your one-on-one relationship with him. He tells you, like, yo, I want you to get married, and I want you to get married to this person because this, you know what I'm saying, like, because like I can trust, not even so much. I know that I can trust you, but I can trust I can trust you to give this person your heart. And they're not, you know what I'm saying, like, and you're gonna be able to walk with them, and you're gonna be able to do, you know, all of these things, and so, you know, it's just that, I mean, like, that's pretty much, that's pretty much like, you know, my thoughts on that, coming out of the, you know, being used to dysfunction. Like I said, like, this is definitely something that I'll continue to work on, but progress is being made. I'm actually going back to therapy, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
Congratulations. That's what's up.
So
It got mad quiet.
yeah, so now that we're, I guess, I mean, now that the 10 o'clock hour has come upon us, I don't know if you guys want to continue the next 15 minutes.
So you sat down right when they was about to
Since you're here, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, let's continue to, I mean, you know, you can get your thoughts out. Adrian was doing like some of the technical work, and Alex is back there. Alex is working. I want to hear. I didn't want to put Alex on the spot to ask him no questions, but he is very much introverted, but also a thinker in a way like that I was as he might be smarter than me. Than I was at that age. I like that. That's so jab.
2.0.
I can see it already.
But okay. All right. So you know what I'm saying, like, I'm cool with being stupid with my kids.
They're smarter. You don't have to be dumb.
You know what I mean? But definitely, you know, to not make the same mistakes as you know what I mean? Like, let that part of my life be a blueprint into what not to do. But just, you know what I'm saying, like, since I was talking about him, because he's working behind the scenes right now, doing some behind the scenes work. He is very much an on-air talent, just in a different way. His conversation is good. You find that when you talk to him. He's a really smart kid, but also he's a talented performer and an actor when he gets his opportunities. And so hopefully those opportunities will continue to come his way, because I like to see him come out of his shell. But anyway, so we've been talking about coping with, you know, with non-dysfunction, being away from chaos, all of those situations. AJ, if there's anything you want to add, then you can go ahead.
What I said. So, I'm one of those people. Like, I've always been. I'm one of those people that is usually in the limelight, but I don't crave being in the limelight. So like when it came to chaos and drama, like I was never for it. Like I don't want to be a part of drama. Like to me, it's a waste of time. So like I was always taught like what I used to tell people like when we was in high school and stuff like that, like for like younger cousins and middle school kids. I'm like, listen, if you gotta tell somebody you're cool, you're not cool.
I like that.
If you gotta tell somebody, yo, I'm that dude, you're not. Like if you have to explain it to them, it's okay. And that's okay. Like you can just be you. And like what I found was like the loudest person in the room is usually the person that's trying to convince themselves that that's what it is. And like so chaos usually comes from a person that's like not the center of attention, but wants to be.
I only said that we're blue, I guess, on my channel, but
on yours?
We can be blue, that's fine.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
It's what you're seeing is like an energy cloud. Like, remember that movie, The Last Dragon? It's like
Leroy.
Go ahead, bro.
But yeah, so I mean like, so yeah, I'm not like chaos. I never really thrived in chaos, but I did find myself as a child like in certain chaotic moments. Like what I used to do is I used to try to sift through it. Another thing what I was big on is like I was a fighter, so I knew the difference between somebody who wants to fight you and somebody who's just talking because people's around. And I never wanted to be the person that just beat somebody up just because you were just talking. So like
what I would do is I would catch you by yourself. So I would, because I'm like, yo, all right, like, because I know that these people are amping you up. They're getting you all riled up, like, so you can fight and this and other. But I also can see in your eyes that you really don't want to fight me right now. Like, so we need to have a conversation. Listen, I don't like what you're saying. You don't want to fight me. The only
Sounds like a Jedi mind trick. It's a problem.
No, for real. Like, nah, I had quick story time. So I actually we were in, it was in high school. I was a sophomore. I had this thing. My uncle was in the Marines, so he showed me how to do the full Nelson headlock. So I used to just go around putting people in the headlock because I was.
Stop it, show.
Yes. So what happened was, this is actually a life-changing moment for it was life-changing for 2 seconds and then you'll laugh at the rest. But so what happened was I put this kid in the headlock, right? It's one of my friends, one of the kids I knew all these people. So they're like, yo, let him go, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Like, yo. But he balled a fist. And I'm like, yo, listen, if you punch me, we're really gonna fight. Like, that's gonna be it. Like, I'm going to hurt you. So they're like, yo, just let him go. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let him go. But if he punches me, it's gonna be on. So I let this man go, his whole body dropped. Boom! I'm like, I just killed this man. Mind you, I went to school in Long Meadow, so they're all white.
Oh.
He's a white kid. I'm black.
Oh.
And he just passed out on the floor. But in my head, he's dead. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to jail. I'm going straight to jail. like there is nothing they can say to get me out of this. Like, I'm going straight to jail. So basically, they bring him to the nurse. He gets up. He comes back to me. And he's like, yo, what happened? But in my head, I'm still in shock. So I'm like, yo, I can't even talk to you right now. In my head, I just killed you. Now you're walking up to me. I can't talk to you right now. So, and it was short-lived because right after that, I ended up slapping somebody with my hat. I was going through a rough time. But I slapped somebody with my hat and then we were supposed to fight and it was a whole nother thing. But I was a menace. So what happened was, after this happens, so for a couple of days, he was talking real spicy. Like, he was talking real tough. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see you after school, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But I know this kid. We're friends aside from this. So but I understand, your pride, I just choked you out in front of everybody, you passed out. He was a part of the wrestling team. It didn't look good for him all around. So he's like, yeah, nah, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. They hyping him up. So one day, so this probably happened on a Monday, Wednesday or Thursday. He's at practice. He's at practice early. Nobody else is there. And the way the gym was, there was the big gym, the open gym where the basketball courts were, and there was a wrestling match in another part of the gym. But there's only one way in and one way out. But there's a fence on the outside, so you can see who's in it before you actually walk in. So I look, I'm coming around the corner, I see him in there by himself, but he's been talking crazy this whole week. So I'm like, all right, I swoop in, I know there's only one way in, there's only one way out. I'm like, yo, bro, if you want to fight, because you've been talking crazy all week, we can fight right now.
Now you just can't leave.
Right. We can fight. Listen, I had a tough upbringing, but I'm like, yo, we can fight right now. I'm like, but mind you, let's just think about this. I choked you out when I wasn't trying. So imagine what I'm gonna do to you when I'm trying. Basically, bro, you're in trouble. So we basically squashed right there. He was like, nah, it's cool. I'm like, cause you're talking crazy. I can't. I mean, we're talking high school, so I'm thinking reputation. You're talking crazy. Now I got other people that look at you like, oh yeah, he's a punk. Because this is what you think about in high school when you're a child. You think about these opinions. I mean, until you, let me backtrack. This is what you think about before you mature to a degree, because some people still feel this way. So
that's a fact.
Listen. But I'm like, yo, bro, I understand, because I gave him the 2 days because of the fact that, yo, bro, I almost killed you. In my head, you was dead. So
It's a violent tale.
It was. But yeah. So after that, we was cool, and I knew the kid. Like I knew him. I knew his mom. His mom also worked for the school. I loved his mom. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was playing games with you. Not that way. Not that way.
I loved his mom.
Not that way.
I almost killed you.
Listen, that'd have been awkward at the family reunion, right?
I'm telling you, the story is getting there.
So yeah.
So we're going over time just because we can. We can't tell me to get out. But I want to know if anybody else had anything they wanted to get from me, because to recap, like we talking about just growing after having been in certain situations, and you know what I mean, like and being used to like the person you are, and leaving basically your old ways behind. You know what I'm saying? Allowing yourself to become who you're becoming. Like I said, I know that I spoke a lot about self-sabotaging behavior, just often not being used to things being what you would consider normal or healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I think overall, like you can't, and we're not. I mean, not just in a romantic relationship, in a friendship, in like in family relationships, is like you can't really expect to have a lasting, healthy relationship if you're not dedicated to your own mental health, and you know what I'm saying, like in personal growth. Healthy relationships is like those key words. You know what I'm saying? Like the key word is is healthy. How do I deal with people? How do you know what I'm saying? Like what are the things that I think in times of conflict? What are the ways that am I able to take accountability for it?
Yes.
The things that the things that I do, and maybe some of the things that I don't. So it's just like in knowing, because I know that there may be people. I don't want to say there are, even though I know there are. There may be people who experience that, like not just thinking, because like you've always had to sort of keep your head on a swivel. You're used to living in survival mode, and so like you find it hard to be to be like not suspecting others of of nefarious activity.
Everybody's out to get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, it's like but there is a life that we can lead to be able to do that. And if you're not able to do it on your own, I would encourage you to seek therapy. I would encourage you to be able to, because there may be people whom you can talk to all along that you didn't know. Like there, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, KJ and I talk. Like we just talk. It's not, I gotta cover this up. But you know what I'm saying? Like but there was, but at points like but I have to remind myself that relationship exists in the time that I need that type of support.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we can talk about support your friends and help your friends and check in on your friends all the time, but we as the friends have to be, we have to be willing to be checked on.
Absolutely.
We have to be willing to be checked.
Right.
We have to, what I'm saying? Like we have to, be willing to make ourselves vulnerable to somebody, and those people are available. You know what I'm saying? And we have to push ourselves toward the light, Caroline. We have to, we have to be able to do that. So, but if anything, anybody else wants to say, I want to say if all hearts and minds are clear. Yeah.
Spread the word, Dasco.
Benediction music.
So yeah, get your Christian apparel, spread the word. You just wear the word. Listen, just help people see the word. My biggest thing is I think that people need the opportunity to be able to read their Bible. That's a lot of our excuses. We just never open it. So why not just wear your clothes and then they can just read your shirt while you passing by?
Amen.
Dope.
Nothing more to say.
Okay. Okay, so, this is the Logic Based Collective, and although we had some issues with our stream, that will be something that'll be getting cleaned up as the weeks go by. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate everybody who is growing with the pod.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Appreciate you,
like we really are coming up, and you know what I mean. We really are growing, and the conversation is growing. We're becoming better people, and our opinions change. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that we look at the world is changing, and so when we speak to you guys, we're not speaking from a place of perfection. We're speaking from a place of emotional and emotional growth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and so as we evolve, we continue to invite you guys to evolve with us. Whether you're watching the stream on Soft Spoken Prophet on TV, on YouTube, the Logic Based Collective, our channel on YouTube. The stream wasn't perfect, but we getting there. Or the Digital Boombox Network. We thank you for being, for listening in, for being with us today. Just want to encourage anybody, if you have not heard, you know what I'm saying, I've been I've been semi-known for my musics. If you did not know, you can go to softspokenprophet.bandcamp.com. You can check me out at Softspoken Prophet TV. You can check out all of my shorts. Actually break down Bible verses every day and say what it is that the Lord may be saying to you. So come and find out if there's a word for you. God might be talking. You may not be listening, but I'm giving you an opportunity to come on through. So whether it's that different, tomorrow will be on another episode of Church Kids Stories. Just want to make sure that putting it out and that everybody knows about this. But the Logic Based Collective is something that will continue to grow. We're going somewhere, and we just want for you guys to continue on the journey with us, so that we're not just people taking a walk. So until next time, as always, allow Jesus to be the lotion that lathers your ashy soul. Sure.
Okay, hey, look, it go left, right, left, right, there you go. Hold up, I ain't with that. Devil try to get his lick back. Pull up, spin back. Pull up, spin back. When it comes to the 8th grade dance, girls will dash off. I'm trying to hold hands. Cause we'll have to trip a old man. Oversized Air Force One in the soul's hand. I've been stuck with the beat, long she knew. That's what I'm like.